really delighted to be with you on World Oceans Day this year. I represent World Oceans Day in Australia and have been working with World Oceans Day for many, many years, based out of the States, back to the days when we lobbied the UN to actually have World Oceans Day declared a day. It's actually an official thing. So it's lovely to see how much it's grown, and it's only because of folks like you that the momentum continues. This year's theme is together we can all protect our home, and we've all been spending a lot of time at home lately, I know, and it's a reminder of exactly what a home is. And there's no doubt that the oceans are our home, where all life started and where most life continues. So I've just got a few slides. I'm going to share my screen with you. Now's probably the time where you will be able to pin your video. So if you find me, you're probably looking at me because I'm the one talking. If you find me, Patrick O'Callaghan, and then click the little blue menu button and pin my video when I share my screen, which is going to happen in about 2 seconds. You'll be able to see exactly what I'm sharing. Here I go, sharing that screen, and then I'm going to make it in full screen, and you should be seeing a nice big World Oceans Day symbol there, I hope. All right, let's have a bit of a chat about these as we go through. I wanted to give us just a bit of a background. I'm guessing that most people on this call are very aware of the importance of oceans, but in today, where we have to be very, very sure of things that we say and what's factual and what's not factual, I thought I'd share a few facts about the ocean with you to start off. We all know that about 70% of the world's surface is covered by water, and to understand Earth, a visitor from another planet would likely spend most of their time in the oceans to get a true sense of how Earth works and what lives there and how to really characterize it. Fact, most things that live on our planet do live in the water, over 90% of them, and we still haven't discovered most of them yet, which blows my mind every time I read that. The biodiversity of our oceans is absolutely staggering. And a few days ago, World Environment Day celebrated biodiversity, and our watery planet, most of our biodiversity occurs in the oceans. Fact. Here we go, I'll find the right slide. Floating in the surface of the oceans, phytoplankton convert sunlight to food and give us oxygen to breathe. Out of the last 10 breaths that you've just taken, 7 of them have been made possible by the ocean. It's staggering to think about. Fact, oceans, including their inhabitants, soak up carbon dioxide. We're all concerned about climate change, and the oceans soak up carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and can store it for many years. We often think about trees as things that hold CO2, but we're all carbon-based life forms, and the more life in the ocean there is, the more carbon gets held there, even if it's only for a short time. Fact, especially in temperate areas, like where I am, I'm sitting in Geelong, Victoria at the moment, and the cool waters around here have a remarkable level of what we call endemism, things that live here that you don't find anywhere else. It's quite remarkable. Fact, in tropical areas, these systems, excuse me, I'll just pop backwards. The systems have developed over millennia, and what we see today is the result of ongoing changes, ongoing evolution of highly specialized plants, animals, and other things that don't fit into either of those categories. And they give us these beautiful images and another reason to conserve oceans. And in fact, most of the protein that the world consumes comes from the oceans. There's no doubt that the oceans are critically important in feeding us. Of course, some of the facts out there aren't exactly great news though. Plastics can and will persist in the ocean for hundreds of years. Iconic sea animals are disappearing faster than ever before. We've seen recently that there's always hope though. As we've been slowing down a little bit at home over the last few months, we've seen small glimpses of nature coming back. The difference was that a few people stopped doing things. In fact, more than a few people, because a few people are always out there making a difference. But in this case, people en masse were changing their behaviour, and we've seen nature come back. When huge numbers of people stop doing things every day that have been damaging the environment, nature starts recovering. Our challenge now is to keep our footprint as light as we can as we move back into a new way of living, a new way that puts things back in balance. And that's my challenge to all of us here today on World Oceans Day. Can we identify our own new way of living, our own new way of doing things? What will yours be? Will it be to choose more wisely when it comes to choosing seafood that you eat? Will it be about being more active and letting the world know what you think about government policy or industry activity? Will it be committing to speaking up when you see your friends behaving in ways that disregard the oceans in how they behave or what they buy? Or will it simply be making your own quiet choices to reduce the chances that plastic items will reach the oceans? We all have a responsibility to act, to speak, and to make it easy for others to do the same. If we go forward with only a few people helping our oceans, it won't be enough. We've seen that. Many people have been acting to help oceans for decades, but it hasn't been enough. It takes numbers, huge numbers of people working together to make the difference that will protect our ocean home. So we need people like you, people who can change people. Use social media and your voices can be heard the loudest ever heard. Use science to make your arguments strong. Use action to show that there are solutions out there that everyday people can use every day. And use your passion for the most beautiful parts of our planet, the underwater world, to fuel the work that you do. So happy World Oceans Day to everybody. I wish you well in your conference. I think this is a terrific initiative and I look forward to sitting on the sidelines and listening to you all. Now, I think that we have Phoebe and Amber who are going to kick off first. Is that right, Claudette?
That's right.
Okay, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. That'll hand control back to you and good luck with it.
Have some fun. All right, Phoebe and Amber, you're up.
Hi, so my name is Amber, and today I'm going to be interviewing Phoebe if she is here.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, Phoebe. All right. So do you just want to jump straight into it?
Yep,
Yeah,
go
sure.
for it.
All right. So the first question that I have for you is, can you share with us what you have been involved with lately?
So in the last sort of year, I've participated in Ocean Youth, and as a part of that, I developed a project with my school and the VCAL students at my school. So the aim of it was to build a small wooden boat with the Almado paddles so we could pick up rubbish in a dockland. I thought it would be a good idea because kayaks can be flipped easily, so they're not very safe, and they can't really carry that much rubbish. And as a part of that, I received a $9,000 grant to be able to develop my project. Last year, I also went to Malaysia and Borneo for a month as a part of World Challenge. I was actually lucky enough to go to Tanjung Datu National Park in Borneo and help dig out and refill a sandpit nesting area for the green sea turtles. I also have been continuing with my mobile phone collection box as a part of Zoos Victoria, They're Calling on You campaign. And recently I've decided to start cleaning up my local park and sorting out the rubbish, and hopefully I'll be able to convince my local council to put in more bins and recycling bins.
Yeah, that's great. Wow, really been going for it, haven't you?
Yeah.
So, when did you know that you wanted to do something to help with the ocean conservation?
So I started participating in Beach Patrol 3030 cleanups in my area. And when I saw the amount of rubbish that was in our local environment and waterways, I just felt like I needed to make a difference. I still participate in the Beach Patrol 3030 cleanups, and I notice how the pollution issues are changing over time, and it's made me realise that we need to be flexible in the long term with our solutions.
Yep, definitely. So have you faced any challenges with what you're trying to achieve?
I would say one of the biggest challenges is my age. So when you're this young, it's kind of hard to participate in some projects or programs and even volunteer. And I think it's a shame that we can't get more youth involved in volunteering.
Yeah. So with that, do you have any advice you could give to the people joining us today in how they can get over that problem and make a change?
I would say just be confident and try anything you're interested in. I would say you don't have to tackle a global issue to be able to make a difference. Sometimes even if you're just doing actions and maybe pick up a piece of rubbish instead of walking past it, I think that's so important.
Yeah, 100%. So out of all the things that you have obviously done, this might be a bit of a hard question, what do you think was the most rewarding
I would say I received 2 awards last year. I received an award from Keep Victoria Beautiful, the Young Leaders Award, and also an award from the Werribee River Association. But I would say that the most thing I'm proud of is just knowing that I'm getting out there and having a positive impact on our environment, oceans.
Yeah, 100%. So today we are asking everyone if they have an action that they want to take to help our oceans.
I would say, just in general, to be a doer and not a sayer. I feel like we have a lot of people that know we need to change for the sake of our oceans and environment, but we don't have as many people willing to go out and do things and make changes.
Yeah, well, that's really great. Yeah. All right. I think we're doing Q&As now. Yeah.
We can do. I might actually kick it off because we've got quite a bit of time left. So we've got time to sort of have a little bit more of a chat. Phoebe, I wanted to know, a lot of young people come to me and say, I'm just, one voice and I don't get to vote and no one really listens to what I have to say anyway. What difference can I make as a young person? And I'm always telling them that absolutely they can make a difference as one person. What would your perspective be as a young person with someone who, if you were to say something to somebody who thinks like that?
I would say, I know it's challenging. I've experienced it myself. Sometimes you feel like you're not making enough of a difference, or anything you do won't matter, but it really does. Even the smallest things can have a positive impact on the environment, and it can all start with one person.
Absolutely. Tegan, are you there? Did you want to actually ask Phoebe the question for Phoebe that you've got here?
Yeah, I did.
Cute. Okay, off you go. Where are you? We can't see you. You're on the other
I
side.
said in the chat, I said, what do you love most about helping the ocean be a better place?
I would say I love most is seeing other people that are inspired by what I do or working with my community. So when I go out there and participate in beach cleanups, I talk to everyone. We see it change over time and improve, and I think it's so rewarding and it's so great to connect with other people in my community that are interested in the same things.
Oh, that's cool.
Perfect. We've got a question here from Wayne. Wayne, did you want to ask your question? I can hear some typing, so maybe I'll ask on Wayne's behalf while we're going through. Hi, Phoebe. How have you gone with getting your friends involved in coastal or ocean conservation?
So I try and tell people about what I do, and hopefully I can inspire them. I think it's hard at the moment with the whole COVID situation, but I'd love to actually get out kids from my local primary school and help them clean up rubbish and understand why it's important so it doesn't get into our oceans.
Absolutely. Have we got any other questions for Phoebe at this point? I actually have another one for you because we've got a little bit of time. How have you involved your school in what you do, or have you as yet involved your school?
I try and involve my school where I can. I think it's important that I involve them. I try and work with especially one of my teachers that was instrumental in helping me begin and just find my passion. So I usually work with my teacher of a program called the Advanced Program, and it's helped me a lot figure out like how to develop my projects and things like that. I try and raise awareness to my school. I used to do speeches as a part of the assembly because I like to tell people and inspire people so maybe they feel like they could also do something about issues in our environment and oceans.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you would have certainly inspired lots of people along your journey, that's for sure.
Thank you.
All right. Have we got any other questions for Phoebe at this point in time? I think we've gone through all the ones through our chat. So if we do actually have more questions, we can always ask them towards the end, and we can, as we do a bit of a roundup of our speakers. So thank you so much, Phoebe. I know you're an incredible young person winning all these awards and doing amazing things, and you absolutely do make a difference. So it is very much possible for young people's voices to be heard. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
And thanks, Amber, for interviewing.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
My pleasure.
All right. Up next, we've got Nicola and Steph.
Hi, everybody. I'm Nicola.
Hi, I'm Steph. Nice to meet you all. So, Nicola, can you share with us what you've been involved lately?
Sure thing. It's nice to see you, Steph, again.
Yeah.
I hope everyone's well. Happy World Oceans Day, everybody. So I guess what I've been involved in the past year or so is, so I started basically with Ocean Youth, where I was gratefully chosen, I guess, as an ambassador for 2019, so last year. And through that, I've found an incredible passion for being with other people that are truly inspired by each other, and who really love to connect with the ocean and the environment and have such a passion for it. And I feel like that has truly been one of the things that's driving me forward to a few other things I've been participating in. So through Ocean Youth, I was able to use my voice and that platform to build an organisation, which is still in its very, very early stages, but basically it's a way to bring about skills and the tools needed to bring a student-led social justice and environment group into Victorian schools. I was actually I was the captain for the social justice and environment group in my school, and I found that it was just so inspiring, and there was so many students so willing to do so much, and it was just an energy that everyone felt really safe and awesome in, basically. So it was really great to see that. So I thought that's such an incredible thing that I would love to bring to other schools. World Oceans Day Youth Advisory Council is one of the things I'm still a part of. Such an incredible opportunity, and it's just been a crazy ride so far. So working with World Oceans Day with 24 other young people around the world, and working on different projects within us. And specifically, one of the projects that I'm working on is consumption based, so food and fashion. And recently we actually interviewed a incredible sustainable fashion icon called Claire Press. That's her name. She's amazing. You should definitely go look her up. She has her own podcast series. It's really great. I've been doing a few campaigns for CNN, their Call to Earth, and recently the Marine Stewardship Council asked me to do a campaign for them earlier on this year about sustainable seafood, and they're doing incredible work to basically stop overfishing, because it's such a huge issue that we all face, and sustainable seafood and sustainable oceans and oceans full of fish is where we really need to be, and they're just doing a crazy job to do that. So I'm really, really happy to be a part of that. And yeah.
That's awesome. So you said that you love being with young people and being with people who share that passion. Is there anything else that inspires you and motivates you?
Yeah, I guess I've always been really connected to nature. I've always, which is so strange, I've always really known I've wanted to be a marine biologist. Since I was really young, I had a really crazy experience with a green sea turtle where I was snorkeling with these tiny yellow flippers, and I saw the sea turtle, and I was like, from that day, I was like, yeah, that's right. I'm going to be a marine biologist. I'm going to spend the rest of my life in the ocean. And I guess it just stuck. And so I guess it's the feeling that you get when you're by the sea and you're surrounded by nature, and that's a feeling that motivates me, inspires me to protect and conserve it.
Nice. And so what are some challenges that you've faced over doing this work?
A lot like what Phoebe said. I'd say it's definitely an age thing. It's a lot of people say you can't change the world, and it does hurt, but I've always thought that I could never change the world by myself. You're always going to need people around, because, well, this earth is everyone's, so we're going to need a hell of a lot of people to help us. And I guess one of the biggest challenges I could say is, believe it or not, convincing your parents and your family. I feel like they're the hardest people you're going to come across and convince about where you want to be, and changing little things, if it's like turning off the lights, or maybe it's trying more vegetarian meals, anything like that. So it's frustrating as well, and it's definitely, it's hard to feel a lot of anxiety, eco-anxiety, that we all come across. And I feel as young people, it's a more prevalent thing, eco-anxieties and all these frustrations that come around with knowing so much and having so much knowledge about what state the earth is in, actually. So it's definitely a challenge.
Yeah, and it's really important. One thing that I found when you're talking about like being youth and people saying we don't have a voice, a quote that stuck with me was that youth are 25% of the population, but we are like 100% of the future. So like, you know, like we do have a right to make a change. This is our future. And I think that was something that like with my parents as well, that was like a big push when they heard that. It's like quite a powerful message.
That's so true.
Yeah. So with everything that you've achieved, what are you most proud of?
Gee, that's a hard question. I guess if I had to say something, I'd say that it's sticking on the path that I am and working towards my own ambitions, and mostly bringing a lot of people with me and empowering my friends and those around me and the community around me. And just, I'm really proud of the people I'm with and watching them grow as well. So that's probably something I'm proud of. Yeah.
That's lovely. So what advice could you give to young people who want to make a difference?
I'd explain that the only thing that matters really is what you want and how hard you're willing to work towards it. And a lot of people, like we said before, like a lot of people will say you can't change the world, but it's the track that you're on and persisting as much as you possibly can to your capabilities is really all that matters. And your voice does count. Youth are stepping up all around the world, and we are the babies of this earth, and we understand that it's not in the greatest state, and we're willing to do something about it. And yeah, the youth is what matters, and you need to remember that you have a voice and you are the voice of the future.
Awesome. And a last question before we go to question time. What is one action that everyone could take home to help our oceans?
There are so many, but I feel like educating yourself with independent sources of media and news, and especially science, listen to the science and take action on the thing that resonates with you the most. If it's microplastics, it might be fashion, it might be ocean acidification, whatever resonates with you the most. I think even if you can put all your energy into learning about it and then trying to find the little things that you can do in your life, whether that be changing your takeaway coffee cups to a reusable one. It's more about educating yourself and finding the way that you resonate so you can really make a change. That's what I'd say.
some great advice. Claudette, are you going to take over for question time?
Perfect. Yes, I know that Patrick's got a question for Nicola. Did you want to ask your question, Patrick?
Sure, I'll just unmute myself. Hey, Nicola, how you doing?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, really well, thanks. Really inspirational stuff. Thanks so much. I'm really interested to know, in all that you've done, are there things that you've found that you might share with us that you think would be the easy wins? We always talk about, you know, it's a struggle and we've got to do this and we've got to do that and it's hard. Are there things that you found that just resonate with people? Are there things that you've done or messages you have that are kind of easy to get out that might have surprised you a bit? Ways that you can change people's behaviour that's actually been quite effective?
Gee, I guess I know I want to say something that I feel does not work. I'm not sure if that's sort of answering your question, but I feel like the way that does not work to influence people's behavior is don't judge them in a way. Don't feel like you might be angry and really upset with what's going on, but not judging people and trying to accept and try and see the way that they are and why they might not be changing for a certain reason. The little wins, it's so difficult because there's so many things. It's very subjective, but I say if you could pick up maybe a piece of rubbish that you saw in the park or something, it's like Take 3 for the Sea is a great initiative, and I feel like that's a really quick, easy way to not only do that for the day, but maybe you'll start doing that more often, and that's like a little win for you. I'm not sure if that answers your question.
Oh, that's great. That's really good. I think the more examples that we can all collect of things that are easy for people to do, because you're right, not everyone's as passionate as most of you folks are on this call. I mean, you wouldn't be on the call if you weren't, right? So yeah, if we can make things really easy for people and work out what they are, I think they're the starting steps, aren't they?
That's
right.
Great.
Thank
you.
Awesome. Okay, we've got another question from Wayne, and I'll take a risk and ask it for you, Wayne, if that's okay. What are your tips for getting your friends involved? Do your parents and family join in with you on your conservation projects now? You mentioned that you did have potentially some internal battles. His office is a bit okay. So how do you go with getting your parents and family to join in with you now?
I guess it's almost like you lead by example for a while and things start to change, and it's really great to observe that. But I guess saying, hey, do you guys want to try this out or this and that? And maybe you can, especially with friends, you can incorporate their own strengths into your work. So, hey, like, I would love for you to write me a poem because you're really awesome at poems, and could you make it like this or something? I think it's finding what these people's strengths are, and I guess utilizing them not only to empower the environment and this movement, but also to empower them, because they find that helpful too.
I'd have to say at this point, if you were to think about going into politics, I'd vote for you. Just
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I've got actually one potential request to collaborate with you from Pakistan, working on SDG 14 and 15, and so there's a request for potential collaboration. So what I should say at this point in time, for anyone who came late, today's session, both interviewers and interviewees are all part of our Ocean Youth program. A lot of the guys speaking today took part in the program last year or in previous years, but we do actually have current Ocean Youth participants on the call today as well. And so if you did want to collaborate or make requests, just go to the oceanyouth.org, put in a message, and we'd be more than happy to hook you up and see where there's some collaborative potential, because that's what it's all about, growing our movement and getting more and more, building the capacity of more and more young people to actually do this incredible stuff. I also wanted to say, Steph, who was interviewing Nicola just now, actually is a bit of a star as well within the Making Change space and has her own network called Seas of Change. So we'll have notes after this, we'll be in contact with everybody, but we'll provide links to their networks. A lot of our young people have actually got their own initiatives on the go. So we'll be providing all that information if you do want to hook up. So thank you both.
Thank you so much, Steph.
Thank you. Bye.
So awesome. Thank you.
So next up, and I think we probably kick off by introducing each of yourselves before you start interviewing each other, again, because you're all pretty incredible. So we've got Phoebe, Holly, Chloe and Brianna as part of Kaitiaki team. I'm pretty sure I said that incorrectly. Being interviewed by Amy, and these guys took part in Ocean Youth last year. So part of the program is actually coming up with a project that actually can make some of this change. And I think that's what they're going to talk about today. So hand it over to you guys.
Yeah, hi, I'm Phoebe. I'm representing Kaitiaki tonight.
Hi, Phoebe.
That's Amy. Hi, I'm Amy. I was an Ocean Youth Ambassador last year in Melbourne. Hi, Phoebe.
Hi.
So, to start off, can you share with us what you've been doing recently?
So yeah, since finishing Ocean Youth last year, we've been working really hard on developing Kaitiaki, which is the little initiative that we started through Ocean Youth. So lately we've been filming 2 documentary series. One is about how to live a more sustainable lifestyle, and another is sort of highlighting other incredible businesses and organisations in New Zealand. And we've also been doing a lot behind the scenes with ambassadors and stuff, and just trying to really keep up our social media presence, because that's one of our focus, is just sharing information and spreading awareness and involved with social media.
Awesome, that sounds really interesting. So for you, when did you know you wanted to do something to help the oceans?
Well, all 4 of us, we all live in New Zealand, Auckland or around Auckland, so we've all grown up spending just so much time at the beach and in the natural environment. And yeah, that sort of just instilled a great love and appreciation for the environment. So as soon as we joined Ocean Youth, we really used the opportunity to create an initiative that is driven by our passions.
So what are some challenges you faced?
I think one main challenge that we've run into a few times is just learning to understand that not everyone wants to make a difference or wants to help out. As hard as I'm sure all of us find that to understand, it's just, yeah, even if we provide resources or ways for people to help, it's just not for everyone. So we've had to deal with that and focus on ways that we can just help majority of the people who are really interested using, positive resources.
Yeah. So having said struggles, what is something you're very proud of?
I think just starting Kaitiaki in general, and I'm proud of how much we've gotten done in the last year. I don't think any of us expected to get as much done so quickly. And we're just really proud of being able to inspire others and getting heaps more people involved in helping the environment.
Yeah. I have to ask, I'm very curious, why have you called your initiative Kaitiaki?
Well, the full name is Kaitiaki o Te Whenua, which is the Māori term for guardians of the land, which I guess is what we're all trying to be, yeah.
Yeah, that's very well named. So what advice can you give young people who feel as though their voices haven't been heard?
I think just start small, because we all have a platform really. As long as you can talk, you've got a platform and you can share what's important to you, share your passion with the environment, with family and friends, and hopefully they'll pass the message on too and create sort of a chain effect of the positive message that you're trying to voice yourself, and also message us to get involved, because we're always keen on getting others involved in Kaitiaki through Instagram. We can help guide you.
Yeah. So what does Kaitiaki do?
Really, we just focus on spreading awareness and sharing information. So we have a website and an Instagram page. on our website, we write a bunch of blog posts just informing people about sustainability and things. And we also sell reusable coffee cups, and the profits from that go towards Project Blue, which is another really awesome organisation making a great difference. Yeah.
Yeah, so what's one action you'd like people to take away from today and do?
I think just to start slowly, like just change out one small aspect of your everyday life to fit a more sustainable lifestyle, if that's what you're interested in. Like even just buying a packet of reusable Ziploc bags or reusable coffee cup from Kaitiaki. Yeah, I think just if you transition into a more sustainable lifestyle piece by piece, it'll feel a lot more achievable. So yeah, just start small and remember to persevere.
Yeah, it's definitely a marathon, not a sprint. So I think now it's question time. Claudette, do you want to take over?
Sure. At this point in time, that's fantastic. I'm so amazed at what you guys have achieved in such a short time frame. And I think a question from me is that you mentioned that one of the supermarkets were keen on stocking your cups. Has that actually eventuated, or did the pandemic throw a bit of a curveball for you as well? And that might
Yeah,
be.
I think it has a little. Well, one of us, Brianna, she's also part of Kaitiaki. She works at New World. So from that's how we sort of got involved with them. We're hoping it still happens, but yeah, it might be in the future a little bit.
Yeah, you have to keep us posted of that development, because that will be an amazing coup.
Yeah, of course.
Have we got any questions at this point in time? Doesn't look like there's coming through anything through on the chat, other than your incredibly eloquent speakers, and the passion certainly shines through. I also can't see, I'm trying to read this and think and listen at the same time, and I can't multitask. We've got an incredible geographic range on this chat at the moment. I don't know if you can see, but we've got Myanmar, someone from the Youth Development Foundation in Myanmar. We've got Kenya, Indonesia, Pakistan, all over Oz, New Zealand, Bangladesh. Unbelievable. It's sort of quietly blowing me away, actually, the geographic range that we've got here, which is very, very exciting. Certainly lots of opportunity to grow our movement and make big, strong, loud, long-lasting waves of change. So we haven't got any questions for you guys yet at this point in time, but we can still have a think and potentially put them in the chats as we go through. The last speakers today, we've got Lucy and Ellie. If I can hand it over to you to introduce yourselves and then kick it all off.
Yep, so I'm Ellie. I'm from Ocean Youth Sydney from last year, 2019. Yeah, I don't know if Lucy's here actually. I can't see in the...
Oh, we've not got Lucy.
Yeah, I can't see in the people here, so...
Oh, actually, I don't think we do have Lucy. We did have her involved in something must have come up. All right. We've got a situation. It is a public holiday here in New South Wales and Victoria, which may have thrown a curveball for Lucy. So we'll make sure that we catch up with her at some point. So that's all we had actually scheduled for today. So it either means we've got a bit of free time to actually use this time to collaborate with each other and ask questions of each other, open up the floor, considering we do have such a range of organisations and countries here now, or we can leave it till next week. We've got another session. We've actually got 3 more sessions like this with different speakers. So we'll be speaking to some various leaders next week about youth leadership, purpose and mission. So how you actually find these things if you're not quite sure, you're sort of a little bit passionate, but you don't know quite what to do. These leaders will help you start to figure some of that stuff out, or certainly their journey how they went about it. The following week, the following Monday after that is we're talking to some businesses, some entrepreneurs that have created businesses that help our oceans. You'll be able to see all of these event links on our Facebook page. And then the final Monday, so 3 more Mondays, the final Monday is the places we love or the things we love about our oceans. So we're talking to a coral reef restoration expert. We're talking to someone who is actively involved in trying to get rid of our shark nets here in Australia, and a turtle person, and of course another Ocean Youth alumni who's doing amazing things with turning trash into treasure. So do book and register for those events if any of those things sound interesting to you. But if we want to, I'll be quiet for a minute and see if we actually want to have a bit of a chat amongst ourselves. I have a question for everyone. How do we use the global pandemic to drive real change globally? Thanks, Anissa. Does anyone want to have a go at?
I can give it a go.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I've been running an Instagram account called Project Positivity OY, and the OY stands for Ocean Youth. And its main idea was to spread some positivity during COVID-19. But as well, we also created challenges occasionally. We created different, mainly, yes, we spread positivity, but it was also a lot of awareness. We spread a lot of awareness about various issues and marine life. And we've also done some other stuff with other Instagram pages. And it's been really good because it's what everyone needs during the pandemic, but I'm hoping it can also give people something to think about after the pandemic as well.
Absolutely, and I've seen it grow in followers as you've gone along, it's a really nice thing to do in amongst all of this sort of crazy, you can feel a little bit out of control, and so figuring out what we can do in amongst this time has always got to be a good thing. We've got another question here. Taryn, how are you? Very much interested in the research, biology and conservation of aquatic species. Is anyone else in the same boat? And I suppose that's potentially to see where there might be opportunities for collaboration at this time, or certainly in the near future. Has anyone got those same interests?
Yes, definitely. Love the ocean completely and all its aquatic species. I definitely feel you. Definitely feel you there.
So Taryn's doing Ocean Youth this year in Melbourne, and Nicola did it last year in Melbourne. So there might be an opportunity to catch up and continue the conversation. Actually, Nicola, that might be where your network comes in, is
yes.
that Taryn can actually join your network and then start to figure out where the opportunities lie.
That sounds great. I'd love to connect with you, Taryn. That sounds awesome.
Absolutely. Okay, there's lots of follows here on Instagram. Again, we'll be posting all of this out for everybody so that if you don't catch it here in the chat, we'll be sure to share it around. So someone's been sharing artwork for a competition and just announced the winners on World Oceans Day. So that's Wayne. Wayne, is that Coast Care WA? If you want to put the organisation in there, I'll include it in the notes and then we can get everybody to go and check it out. I get you into chat to Ocean Youth. So Peter just said, Nicola, that she might have to get you in to talk to Ocean Youth ambassadors this year.
Yes, Peter, how are you going?
Absolutely.
We'll get you in, Nicola.
I'd love to. I'd love to see you guys again.
Very soon. We'll hopefully see all your lovely faces very, very soon.
Yeah, the aquarium is still in the process of slowly opening back up again. So trying to get back on track with the programming.
Mhm.
Adopt a Beach, Perth Adopt a Beach have just had an art competition where they announced the winners today around COVID-19, using COVID-19 as an opportunity to brush up on art skills. Awesome. All right. Patrick, did you want to say anything at this point in time to wrap things up?
Oh, look, just that this is really, really inspiring. You guys are awesome. Yeah, look, what can I say? I'm blown away. I'm always blown away when people who are passionate about oceans get together, put their minds together, because we often feel like we're the only one that really cares, and it's very easy to kind of get lost in that. And so whether it's in real life or whether it's on here or whether it's just knowing that there's networks of people out there, and this is just a small sample, isn't it? Yeah? We're only a really, really tiny drop in the ocean, but there is an ocean full of people just like us out there. And I've got no doubt that when we keep pushing and we keep changing and we keep helping people along their journey, things can only get better. So this is a really hopeful initiative, and I thank you all so much for having me on. It's terrific.
Wonderful. All right. Okay, Ellie, I'll follow you up on that. All right, well, it doesn't look like we've got that many more questions, so I'm going to wrap it up. I'll follow up with Lucy, and hopefully we can get her on at a later time, because I know she's got an amazing initiative. I'll give it a plug here in her stead. She started a network called Student Voice Network, and it's about gathering students, again, similar sort of concept, build a platform to enable youth voices to be heard. And it's not just limited to ocean issues, it's social equity issues, racism issues, a broader reach. And she's got, I think, already around 15 schools involved, about 150 students. And it's just about, you know, together we actually can start to climb these mountains a little bit, you know, more easily. So Student Voice Network, again, I'll include it in the notes that I send out to everybody so that we can all keep connecting and keep the conversations going, because this really, truly is incredibly inspiring and awesome. And I feel very proud of everybody. So thank you all. And hopefully we'll get to see you next week's session, Monday, same time, same bat channel.
Thank you so much, everybody. Have a wonderful World Oceans Day. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye all.
Bye.
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 See you later. Thanks, everyone.